We're here at CSC Ranches in Pilot Point, Texas, and we are a hot blistering deal again this time, and so we've got Porticool that has saved us again. We're almost into fall, but not yet. We're getting ready for the Virginia contest, who our judge and clinician will be Mr. Michael Kukkonen from Denmark, and we've got a good set of shoes that we'll be bringing to you. Today we're going to be making one of two shoes. That is the two-man competition in Virginia State Fair, and Scott Anvils is our sponsor. And the first shoe that we'll make is the Hind Draft. It's made out of 18 3/4 inches of 1 1/4 by half. It's called an S heel draft shoe because the heels are smashed down like an S. It's called an S heel, and we'll be demonstrating that part. It is punched for 8 ESL 9s, and it is 8 5/8 inches square. It's the same length as it is wide, and it's a toe clipped. It's a two-man class, so it looks like a bob punch is from what we've seen, but I'm sure an appropriate clip. All right, we've got just 18 3/4. I marked the toenail, the center punch mark. I marked the center punch mark a 1/4 inch, so I have a 1/2 inch more material on the lateral side. We're going to put a pretty good jump in the toe. All right, pretty long piece. We're just going to bump it up, put a whole heat into the toe. Just at about 1 inch in there. All right, just trying to get a nice bend in there without kinking it. We'll come over here and just staying ahead of the horn and pulling that and tightening up the radius in the toe. We're going to scribe right at about 1 5/8 inches for our toenails. Split the stock. Then I'm going to just come up. You can see I've got a little bit of a bubble right where I start the fullering, because that's where my bump starts to fall off. All I'm going to do is come right here, and I'm going to hit with the heel of my hammer and just kind of start to get that line going. If you do it with the top of the horn, your hammer will very seldom pinch too much higher. And that just sets your toe up just right. We're going to come out and we're going to make a traditional Danish S heel. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this much amount. That's exactly what I'll place on top of the steel, but I got to draw it out first. I'm going to draw it out to where it's twice the length, and then I'll make an S heel. Don't lose your dimension when you're just I'm setting it down from the ground side. I'm making this step on the back side. And for a right-handed person, this side gets weenie. I got to focus on that inside edge. Keep it square on the inside, on the edge, kind of let it get caught up. I've got basically 1 1/4 inches. I want to leave the distance of this over the edge of the anvil so that this corner has somewhere to go. So you don't want to do this because you'll make a roll. Now we're just gonna and I'm staying right at the base. Come back here and make sure you keep that straight. I want to keep this corner pretty square. Then I just want to come in here and put a little bit of a bend. So now I got that bend. I'm going to tighten this up right here. Put a little bit more of a bend in there. And then you want to keep these straight so that they don't just turn into big old wobbly bent. And now I'll fold that back over when I come back out. Pushing it down. If I have too much going that way, I pull towards me. I can push, I can pull. Come and true everything up. Before we get it too dense, you can see why they call it an S heel. While we've got it in the straight, I'm going to go ahead and clean up my edges. We're going to go on to the medial branch, but what I've done is box this up. I've cleaned up my edges. We have the medial heel, so I'm just going to come in here and taper. Both sides, taper. What I've got is this box is perpendicular to the branch, so it's a square on there. The medial, since it's going to be under the foot, sitting on the foot, the box is going to be running in line with the branch. So I have to set up that box before I actually set it down. And what I will do is I'm going to set down a little bit longer because the box is going this direction. All right, come up here, ground surface up. It gets a little round on the end, catch that up so you don't got a mess on your leading edge. Just kind of crisping everything up. And now I'll again have a gap there to where you have the same amount of material hanging over as you have here, so it has some place to go. Have a little bit hanging over. Split it, and then come back in here and get it going back and get it right down to the corner. When I'm hitting the sides, I'm leaning it, and I'm leaning it, and I'm getting a little bit of that safed off diamond shape by doing that. And then I'll come from the floor and collect all this up. And you can see that we've got the S in there. I'll take, and we'll clean it up. Kind of set this, get this nice and flat line going there. And we shall make it into a wedge. We're going to put the heel quarter in there. Keep pushing with your tongs and come on around. Kind of tighten up the branch a little bit and then come on around again. Get our head stamped in there. Make it nice and flat from the backside and push all those nail holes back flat. Get everything nice and tidy. Flatten everything up. Bending the heel quarter. Just come on around. I'm gonna start where my fullering is and kind of put some shape in it and do my hemming a little bit. Just kind of tightening everything up, going out to the widest part of the foot. And then coming over the top. Kind of clean up the back edge of the steel. Kind of, last time you'll get a clean look at it. Kind of establish your base and then follow it on out. Come in here and just kind of clean up going to the clip, come on over to the other side and clean up going away from the clip, and then repeat the process. Come on around. Just kind of straightening everything, getting a little bit of flow. Put my fullering in. and we'll rasp it up. Just kind of press it in, make sure everything's nice and flat. There, I think we pretty much got that done.